Okay, welcome everyone to another Tuesday night, another week that we are doing Run to Executive. We have done really well in this 10 weeks. I want to give another thank you to Katie Hill for really starting and organizing this group. It has really put our team in momentum, and a lot of people have done well over the last 10 weeks. So thank you again, Katie, for leading this up and having the vision for us to do this. Tonight we have Casey, one of our team leaders who has clearly paved the path for us to show us how possible it is for us to earn income in Isagenix. And she totally gets it when it comes to the vision for our company, the purpose and passion, and then also the numbers behind the comp plan. And tonight she's going to really help us go beyond the you share, they share. But for those of you who don't know Casey, she started Isagenix back in 2013. If I remember that correctly, it was summer 2013. And she is now an 8-star Golden Circle. She has 4 Crystal Executives. She's in our Start 1000. She's also, at our last celebration, she was recognized as number 77 in the company for income earners. So 77 out of over 600,000 people. So that's where she is, and I'm sure she's probably ranked a little higher now. And she's also Millionaire number 203. So her background is she was a nurse, so no sales experience. Now she's a professional network marketer, and she is passionate about our company, our culture, our program, what we believe in, our vision. And thank you again, Casey, for your time and really sharing with us tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to you. You can share the screen.
For sure. Well, hey, everyone. Got to be with you guys for the kickoff of Run to Executive. And again, kudos to the beautiful Katie Hill. And thank you so much, Bridget. So yeah, it was August 2012 that I started, but in 2013 is when we got connected to that first launch party in Boiling Springs, South Carolina with Miss Wendy Jarvis. So, oh, how it's so fun to be in it. Stay in the game and work the comp plan, because it's amazing what happens. So I'm going to kind of just give you guys a little bit. Here, let me close this out. There we go. I'm going to give you guys a little bit just of kind of all the solutions that make Isagenix. I know that we've been in this, and then I'm going to really take a little bit more time. So I'm going to fly through the first part, and then I'm really going to get into a little bit more detail. For what I'm really passionate about is the residual income. And you guys, the numbers just represent people putting amazing products in their body and being healthier. So I'm going to give you, some examples. Obviously, we always share Isagenix with integrity, no medical claims, and of course some income claims. I don't know what that red dot was. There we go. I'm going to show you guys some earning potentials. This is not a get in and get rich quick. You can always go to isagenixearnings.com so that you can check out to see the Isagenix earnings statement there. But I just what if you could think differently, though, about this compensation plan, about this idea of residual income? What if you could hear one thing that just really shows you the potential of true freedom and choice and being able to design your own life? And you guys, that's what this compensation plan does. And, Bridget talked about, everything and just some titles and things like that. But when I started Isagenix, I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I was a night shift nurse. I was living on Red Bull, coffee, Diet Mountain Dew. My mom, she wanted to chew her food. She didn't want to suck down any shakes. Now, she retired herself 8 years early because of the comp plan, but it all started with a product experience. So going into this compensation plan, I want you guys to know that your most valuable asset that you have is your belief and your love affair of the products. You don't have to have a weight loss story. This is a wellness company. This is not a weight loss company. It can just be as simple as sleeping better, feeling better, or just being on a healthy lifestyle. But this is where I started when I started Isagenix, you guys. This was in half of this. This is a duplex. So I want you to know wherever you are right now, you can take this vehicle, the Isagenix compensation plan, and you can turn it into whatever you want. Literally, my office is bigger than where I used to live. This is my office where I started. You guys, this is what I was producing in right here. So I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you are. It's where you decide right now. And if you can sleep tonight, I want you to come back and watch these numbers again, because I don't think that you really understood it. When I first saw these numbers, I saw that this was the life that I could live. I saw that I could bring my husband home, that
I could retire him early from the military, right? This is the lifestyle that I knew that if I buckled down and worked this compensation plan like it's designed to work and take it, like Bridget said, much further than you share, they share, I could do things like sponsor kids around the world, have a mobile beach office, work from anywhere. And it's because we have this amazing thing called Isagenix backing us up. And the vision is to impact world health, you guys. It's not to be the largest network marketing company. And this is what's so brilliant about the compensation plan, is that its focus is on world health. And because of that, we're going to be the largest network marketing company. So do you kind of know your solutions that all factor into your opportunity? Because there's so many things that build on a strong organization, on a strong compensation plan. And when you think about, okay, what are the solutions that make up this amazing binary compensation plan? Of course, we all know the solutions by now, right? We're in 10 weeks. We all know our solutions. We're in our groups. That these are solutions. So every single account that gets open in Isagenix that shows up in your organization, in your compensation plan, you are providing somebody for a solution for one of these problems that they're having, right? We all, the success, and we got Katie Hill on here, Albie Shepherd, I mean, the Hymans, my sister down 100 pounds. So think about how many people do you know, right? Because those are the solutions that have a need for more money. I'm not even going to get into what's happening right now in college debt for kids that are getting out of college right now. That's literally an entire, I could talk for 3 hours on that. But like, people are in desperate need for money right now. Taxes are going to be going up, unemployment all-time high. You think about just the amount of debt that people have. They say that 7 out of 10 people, you know, live paycheck to paycheck. Like, if they did not get a paycheck, they would not be able to pay their bills. Credit card debt. So 86,400 hours we spend at work. How many people do you know that are getting 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet? This is what that compensation plan can provide, or to get out of that debt, stop paying interest. 76% of people cite money and work as the primary stressors for their life, because the way to get your beautiful organization to grow, you guys, you have to show people every single pillar of health in Isagenix. The products speak for themselves. The product speaks for yourself. But if you're not showing people this, people who are suffering out there, 76% of people are citing money and work as their primary stressor. If you are not showing this compensation plan, you are doing people a disservice, because you are in a business. Your amazing vehicle covers all of those areas with the solutions that it offers you guys. You have something for everyone. And that's what makes this compensation plan so amazing, is that it's so consumable and there is something for everyone. You know, we're a total online superfood grocery store. These are our 5 pillars. I encourage everybody, if you guys didn't hear the Jim Rhodes call, to check that call out. He goes into great detail. What's also great about Isagenix, you guys, is that it's backed by science. It is completely backed by science, so you can feel well when you talk about all these things that create this wealth creation. Look at this. I really want everybody's belief to be very high in network marketing, just in general, but we're going to talk about the Rolls Royce and Isagenix. Look at this. You guys, do you see this kind of money that this global sales for 2015 was? At $73 billion in 2015 was paid out to their distributors, 200 million in commissions per day. Do you want to be a part of that? I mean, look at these massive industries all combined. I mean, direct selling, $183.7 billion. Do you know what you're sitting on? You have this prime real estate piece. And did you know that out of our 25 income earners globally, this is the statistics from October 2017, that 12 of them joined in the past 7 years, 7 of them joined in the past 5 years, 5 of them joined in the past 4 years, and 1 of them joined just 2.5 years ago. So often I think people think in the compensation plan, or, you know, in the residual, you have to be in it or be in it at the top. Like, that's just so not true. I get to out earn tons of people above me, and you can too, if you decide to work this compensation plan like what it is worth. Isagenix is 1,100% more efficient at sharing its profits with its top business partners than the rest of the companies in network marketing industry. We create 1 new 7-figure income earner for every $38 million in revenue. The industry average is 1 new 7-figure income earner for every $358 million. If that doesn't give you goosebumps about what Isagenix is doing in the industry, in what I believe the greatest industry in the world, you guys, you can't possibly understand this compensation plan and know that we have the partners, Jim and Kathy, and everything that they've been through, and just the numbers don't lie. So I invite everybody to become a student of what Isagenix is doing in the industry, so that you can really, when you see this residual income and this compensation plan, you can work it like what it is worth. You can work it like what it is worth. Thinking about too, in this residual income aspect, you guys, this is not just like a US thing, right? Like we're all on here. I mean, we have Kathy and her beautiful daughter on from Australia. I was just talking to Alex today. I was just in Colombia. We're Zooming, and all of these things, around the world, because of technology, that you can be in every single country that Isagenix is in. That's part of your compensation plan. You have a global health and wellness company, in a $1 billion industry, $1 billion health and wellness company. And you think about technology with our smartphones. I mean, how many of us are constantly on our smartphone anyway? Bridget talked about START. That's one of the fastest growing movements right now in Isagenix, is the Start Your Life. So don't prejudge somebody based on their age. We have primetime people are learning. It's technology that has all brought that together that makes it the perfect timing for your opportunity. All those things, the solutions that you have, the support from Jim and Kathy and, Eric Coover and the corporate team, and the products of John Anderson, all of that makes your opportunity. And so, if you think about, network marketing or pyramid schemes, I always put this in here because I really want you guys to understand that in network marketing, especially in the Isagenix compensation plan, it is the exact opposite of a pyramid structure, the exact opposite, in my opinion, of a pyramid structure. Because, you think about what a pyramid, any corporation, right? You have one CEO. In Isagenix, so many people can be at the top. The more people you help be at the top, the more you're at the top in this company. And in a corporate America, it's just not the case. And I use myself as a nurse, because here I was down here as a nurse, you guys. No matter how hard I worked, I was not going to get to the one CEO of the hospital salary. I could have gone back to school, gotten another $50,000 worth of debt, which was what my plan was before Isagenix. Thank you, Jennifer Traintner. And I was going to get in more debt and student loans to go to work for 40 years and be in this structure. And no matter how hard I worked, I would not have gotten up here, and it wasn't residual. Like, that's the key thing. So I want you to think about, when you have your amazing organization and your binary system that we're going to look at, what you have is, we open up people online grocery stores. That's what we do. Every single time people purchase out of that grocery store, we get to earn a commission or bank it. So in direct sales, which we're part of the DSA, Direct Selling Association, I encourage everybody to become a student of that. If you're going to become a 6- and 7-figure income earner in Isagenix, the DSA is definitely your friend with where Isagenix is. And in direct sales, though, this is better than direct sales. In direct sales, it's like saying, look, you can buy as many sodas as me you want for $1, turn around, sell them for $2. But what happens, you guys, when you stop selling sodas? You stop making money. Right? That is a one-time sale. That's not creating residual. I have friends that sell cars. When they stop selling a car, they stop making money. Real estate, same thing. So now in network marketing, this is what we're doing. We're opening up online superfood grocery stores. So for every account that you're going to be seeing in this binary structure, what you're doing is, it is somebody's online superfood grocery store. And anytime they make a purchase, right? This is not to do with the product introductory bonuses, the PIBs, all of that. I'm talking about anytime they make recurring purchases that they're feeding their whole family on, right? Which is addressing all of those issues: energy, performance, weight loss, lean muscle gain, better sleep, all of those things, just healthy aging in general. You earn a commission. You are in a recession-proof business. Are people going to stop eating? No, right? It is a recession-proof. It is health and wellness. I mean, 1 out of every $2 spent by baby boomers goes to health and wellness. I mean, it's a massive industry. So here's how this amazing compensation plan works. We use the products, we share the system, and we identify product sharers and business partners. But again, you guys, if you're not showing people this compensation plan, the business partner part is going to be very slow. I've heard some people say, well, all I have is product users. Are you showing people the opportunity side? People don't know that there's something to build if we don't show it to them. But this is how we all do it. We eat it, we love it, and we share it. This should just be such second nature. Eat it, love it, share it. Eat it, love it, share it. Eat it, love it, share it. You guys, this is the whole compensation plan right here. This is what we call manager. Okay, so we come into Isagenix. right? As a customer, we go in, we enter in our social and our birthday for the U.S., other things for other countries, and become an associate, or the countries are already set up for associate, and then you share it with 2 people, and you show them how to share it with 2 people, right? You become a consultant when you share it with 2 people, one on your left, one on your right. You become a manager when they share with 2 people. So when you have 2 consultants, right, you're a manager. When you do this 5 times, you're an executive in Isagenix, which unlocks the entire compensation plan. So I really want you to look at how simple this is. Jennifer Trinkner is a master at keeping it so simple. Eat it, love it, share it. Eat it, love it, you share it, repeat. This is the repeat part, you guys, just over and over and over again. Isagenix sends you your black card. You can do whatever you want with your money. Now, these are the initial upfront money. I want everybody to write this down. I want you to write down fasttracktoexecutive.com. And Bridget can put that in the chat. Fasttracktoexecutive.com. That is the rank advancement bonuses from when you turn associate for all the upfront money. And it doesn't matter if you have passed those rank bonuses. You want to be able to show everybody coming in, you're morally obligated. You have to let them know that there's upfront money, that are some time-sensitive bonuses that you're going to show people, right? So there's tons of upfront money to learn in Isagenix, and that's super exciting, just from the product introductory bonuses all through your rank advancements. But again, what excites me is the weekly pay of the residual income. Now, we do have our daily pay, which is our product introductory bonuses. We all know if we enroll somebody with a pack, that's, let's say, the value pack for $80, that's the daily pay. That'll pay you that day. Our value packs and our ultimate packs pay that day. If we double them a week later. But monthly payment is in these leadership pools that if you're growing and you're an executive, they have them director too. They'll pay out in these leadership formulas. But then they have the quarterly pay, which I know a ton of people just got paid out in their holiday pool. But again, guys, this is the part that I could not sleep when I understood this. You can build each of your business centers that we're going to look at up to $702,000 a year and the 6% of the residual income. And then you can match that 10% paid up to $702,000 on business centers, and you can build as many as you want. So you talk about $1.4 million in residual income. I would have never gotten close to that as a registered nurse, not in a million years. I don't care how much education I had and how much in debt I went, it wouldn't have happened. So, when you think about an Isagenix compensation plan, it is allowing us, you guys, to get over onto this right side of the quadrant that I'm showing you. If you haven't read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's an amazing book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, 95% of the population is playing over in the employee or a small business side. I was a nurse. If I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. I was trading time for money. So time for money is getting exchanged over here. Small business owners. I have a lot of friends that own small businesses, and they are struggling. They are struggling. They are in so much debt. They have to pay everybody else first. Now, you can make small businesses successful. There's a lot of risk. There's a lot of investment, a lot of capital. Small business, a lot of ideas is to become a big business. So you can think about big business in terms of leveraging, right? Franchises, things like that. Something like that you could think. That was the business of the 20th century, but the business of the 21st century is network marketing. That's another great book by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book. 5% of the population is playing on the right side. The right side of the quadrant takes their time and they multiply it. They're using leverage. So over here, money works for you and you multiply your time. Over here, you use your limited amount of time to work for money. So a leverage binary compensation plan like Isagenix allows you to take yourself from here to over here with only the investment of a reallocation of the crappier food that we were eating or the less nutritionally dense food that we were eating to eat better food, right? That is what this allows us to start playing over here in this big business. Then when you have passive residual income, you can get into investments, but that's the whole idea. So I really want you guys to understand leverage because this is where residual income and freedom comes in. This is where the freedom comes in. You take one person for 8 hours a day for 5 days a week. that's a 40-hour work week. I can even do that math. You don't have to be great in math to be able to do this business. I can promise you that. Now take one person, right? To the 8 hours, that was 40, but now you have 10 people just doing 1.5 hours for 5 days a week. That's a 75-hour work week. So now 10 people just doing 1.5 hours, you've already outproduced. Again, we're talking about what can be produced in the shortest amount of time. That is leverage. 20 people at 1.5 hours for 5 days a week. That's 150 hours based on production. You know, in the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, it talks about millionaires choose to get paid based on results, to get paid based on results, not for just showing up and exchanging time. That's what this whole idea is. You're getting paid based on results. But here's the thing. Ask yourself, would I rather earn 100% off of my sole effort, or 1% off of 1,000 people, off of 10,000, 20,000 people? What would I rather? I personally would rather earn 1% off of many, many people than 100% off my sole effort, because the max that I could get to is 100. You look at if you were working 5 days a week, 24 hours around the clock, which probably wouldn't be that great production, right? In terms of like you'd be exhausted. That right there, you guys, all you could do was 120 hours. That's it. So now you start taking 40 people, 80 people, 160 people. What is able to be produced and brought in that? You guys, it's such a brilliant business model structure. So every single product has a point value in Isagenix, and this is your residual. This is the residual that gets paid time and out, that weekly pay. Every product is designed those points. I use the e-shots, right? Everybody loves the e-shots. I don't know about you guys, but I love that e-shot. That's it, man. You can have a business in entirety on the Isagenix e-shot alone with people reordering it. But you think about, so that BV goes in this bank. Now, if anybody has not seen the Jim Coover compensation plan off of ISA FYI, I encourage you to watch that too, because he does 45 minutes of in-depth on this kind of BV and the structure and all that good stuff. But it just really kind of let it be simple. Don't overcomplicate it. That every single product has a point value. Now, if I am actively purchasing 100 points every 30 days, I am banking those volume points and they're sitting in this vault. Once I'm a consultant, I can take volume out. An associate at 100 points banks volume indefinitely. A consultant is able to take volume out and earn. So every single time we accumulate 900 points, 600 on one side, 300 on another that I'll show you, that generates a cycle. And I really didn't think that like $54 was like that big of a deal. Like, that's a lot of work for $54. You know, like that was my thought process. But again, once I saw compounding and I saw residual and I saw it adding up, then I was really excited about it. So you have an Isagenix, you have a left sales team and you have a right sales team. That's it. That's all you have. You have a left sales team and a right sales team. So when you have those 300 points on one side and 600 points on another, because let's say all of these people, right, they have their online grocery stores. And so when they go in or an auto ship goes out or they enroll somebody, right, those products have points. Or when they just, you know, the cookies and cream comes out, people get 6 canisters of those because their kids are sucking them down and going crazy when those are out, right? All of that is creating these residual points long after the initial effort that you did to open this person an account, who enrolled this person, and enrolled this person, then enrolled these people all the way down here. After the initial work was done, that those recurring orders are all coming through, and that's that residual. You guys, people eat every day, every day. So my question to you is this though, right? Because 83% of people just consume the food. That's it. That's all they do is they consume the food. Then you're going to have casual shares, which is great. I love just my product users. I love people who just casually share. That's very exciting. But then you're going to have people that run with this, that understand these numbers, and that like they can't sleep at night. And I know when somebody gets it, because I get a text at like 2 a.m., you know, and people are just on fire because they really understand this comp plan. So over time, can you educate 2 people on your left represented in red and 2 people on your right represented in red that get it like I get it, that get it like Bridget gets it, that get it like Katie, that Jennifer Traitner gets it, that really understand this. But again, if we didn't know about it, right, we wouldn't have gotten it. So it was taking the time. So just, again, make sure that you're casting this vision for people, because what happens when you have somebody that's all in, they don't stop. I always let people know that it is okay if this is not for my life, is not going to be different at all, whether they decide to do this or not, or share it, because I'm committed and I'm one of the all-in people. I do find people who are all in that keep these numbers going, because we don't stop, right? So that's going to be a geometric progression. That's going to keep compounding interest, the eighth wonder of the world. So here is arithmetic progression. Isagenix compensation plan, when you have people that are sharing along with you. And again, we're gonna for the numbers I'm about to show you guys, we're gonna take out everybody except for the people who are all in. So just think about that we're not even counting numbers of casual shares or product users that I'm about to show you. But in arithmetic progression, you guys, I got a $1.50 raise in 4 years. I was responsible for people's lives. I went to college for 6 years, invested tens of thousands of dollars, got in a lot of debt, and I was worth $1.50 in 4 years. And I was told when I had to work, when I could take a vacation, how I had to show up, what I had to wear. That's what I was told to be an arithmetic progression. Now, in geometric progression, I have given myself tons of raises much quicker, and I'll kind of break those down. But, you know, there's no large capital investment. I mean, you're talking about $22 a day, $13 a day, or $40 a day. That's what somebody's initial investment is to get their initial vending machine. Then all they're purchasing to have a business, ask any small business owner, is their capital that they have to invest to run their small business, is it more than $175? I'm going to say $175 for tax and shipping. Like, is it more than that? And then do they get to consume it? You guys, do you know anybody that does not spend $150 on food a month? $175. I don't, right? And it's making them healthy. That is your overhead. That is your overhead to have $1 million business opportunity. There is a minimum input for maximum output, right? So you have those 4 people. Those 4 each enroll 4. And again, I'm talking about just people who get it. Those 4 enroll 16, 16 each enroll 4, 64, 64 each enroll 4, 256 people. So you add all these up, you have 340 people that are just purchasing, let's say, the minimum amount of 100 points, right? Let's say they're just doing 100 points to be active, to build this business and play in the comp plan. If that is all they were purchasing, that's over 51,000 of groceries moving through your online, right, organization that you can work from anywhere in the world. That's over $2,000 a month in residual income. And again, $2,000 a month in residual income. Let's take it, and let's say that it took you 3 years. You guys, people way overestimate what they're going to be earning in their first year, 2, 3 years in network marketing, and they way underestimate what they're going to start earning in year, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the residual. Now, Isagenix has tons of bonuses up front, to help everybody out, but like that residual, take it here. Maybe that took somebody 3 years. 256 people each enrolled 4. Guys, see where this quantum leap came in, this massive quantum leap in this compensation plan came in? If those people were just purchasing 100 points, right, to be able to build this business, that's over $200,000 of amazing food going into people's bodies, moving through your organization. That's over $8,000 a month in residual income in the 6%. Again, this has nothing to do with the bonuses, the PIB, nothing, just the 6%. Take it a step further. So you have, now again, you've had another quantum leap, you guys, where that sum becomes greater than the whole because you've stayed in, and it's now you're earning that, that 1% off of thousands of people's efforts. That right there, you guys, 100 points. It's over $800,000. It's over $32,000 a month in residual income. You can build each business center to $53,000 a month in this 6%. You guys, where else for eating food, loving it, and sharing it with somebody? Like, do you know this about the comp plan? Like, this is incredible to me. When I got these numbers, everybody was talking about how good they were sleeping on Isagenix, and I couldn't sleep. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. I have to have this freedom. It's all from helping people. Because look at this. And I had a mentor ask me this because I really didn't understand compounding. And he said, would you rather $1 million or a penny that doubles, but only for 30 days? I would not have thought that this little penny, only for 30 days, so it goes 1 cent, 2 cent, 4 cent, 8 cents, 16, right? But that little penny comes to over $5 million in 30 days. But that little penny, it took some time for that little penny to start gaining some momentum, right? What if on day 15, if you're not understanding what's happening, if you're not understanding and you're like, I'm an idiot, I should have taken that $1 million. This doesn't work. This whole idea of geometric progression is so just dumb. Well, because on day 15, half the month's already over and all you have is $163 when you just gave up $1 million. But right? Just like how in those numbers, those were quantum leaps and bounds that were happening, those same numbers. Remember that 4 who found 4? 16, right? Shared with 4, 64 with 4, 256. That compounding effect. It's eating it, it's loving it, it's sharing it. You guys, and it's using the tools. It's using the tools and showing people that upfront money. Be able to draw out that fast track to executive. You guys, you're going to have to put the time in this compensation plan, right? All of us, I don't know what your why is. For me, it was freedom. I had to have that freedom. When I saw that there was something that I can do to where I didn't have to work for the next 40 years, or, my mom, she was able to retire 8 years early. You guys, how many people do they have really good retirement plans set up? Or, your 401k is promised not to go below 0, and you're banking on this retirement and taxes going up, the dollar going down. Like people have to have a form of residual income to live a quality life, in my opinion. Like with where it is to be able to travel. Do you have charities? Do you want to contribute some way? Do you want to go to your church and give whatever you want? Is it just the money? Is it the car? Is it the houses? What is it for you? Because you're going to feel like you're putting in a lot of time in this compensation plan to where you're earning those things, where you're earning the PIBs, the product introductory bonuses, to where you're earning the consultant bonuses of the $100 for when you turn your first 20 consultants. Those are the things that you're going to be getting paid on more so in the beginning. And that little $54, that residual income is going to feel like it takes time. But as time goes on, you can invest less time and your residual income can grow with a strong foundation and with leaders. It really can. And how do you attract the leaders? How do you create such a phenomenal organization plan, a compensation plan? You decide to be one of those reds. You decide to be that all-in person, the 4 who finds 4 who finds 4. You decide to be one of those, and I'm telling you, you will attract those if you make that commitment and you show people and you become a student and you know where your tools are. You know that as the FYI, Jim Cooper compensation plan, you've seen that, you feel it, you can see the numbers when you sleep. You guys, you get to re-enter above yourself. When you max out a compensation plan in Isagenix, this was something I was like, oh my gosh, this is just it was just, absolutely, it just blows my mind that this company rewards us. Let's see, here it is. This company rewards us. So when you max out a compensation plan in Isagenix, again, that's $702,000 in the 6%. When you do 225 cycles a week, 3 times, you get to re-enter above yourself. This is also different in Isagenix than in a lot of companies. You have to kind of go below yourself or you get paid on levels. Guys, do you realize Isagenix does not like every quarter or every month? There's some companies that flush volume every month, every quarter. You don't use it, you lose it. You get to re-enroll above yourself too when you max out a business center. And then you have remember how it takes 600 and 300? You have your entire 600 is forever done because you're sitting up here and you're 600. So then you just build out one other structure. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me, just the generosity of Isagenix, because I mean, they're not chasing money, you guys. They're chasing integrity and doing it right and solving problems for people and solution-oriented to bring health to the world, to be the largest health and wellness company in the world. And I mean, this is what you're sitting on. And so here's the structure. If you guys see, it took time for momentum to gain. Okay, it takes time for momentum to take off. So do not get discouraged. Every master was once a disaster. Every master was once a disaster. Now this right here, I will say, when I went from 5,000 to 10,000 in 1 month, it's when I went to executive. I took out, there's a lot of bonus money too, like when you get to executive and then you hit your first 5-cycle bonus, when you hit your first 10 cycles and 20 throughout the ranks, which again has gone over all in that fast track to executive and the bonus structure. And this is also, you guys, when I really got into belief and into mindset, into intentional development, and into believing that if one person can do this compensation plan, I can do this compensation plan. Everybody has the same company. Everybody has the same products. Everybody has the same ability to go to events. Everybody has the same. We are the deciding factor in what we want to do. Now, I didn't have a network. You guys might not have a network. I had to learn how to network and build a network, right? All network marketers have to network. So, we all can maybe start in different places, but every single one of us has it. And I mean, you look at like $40,000, $50,000. I mean, $40,000 was a year for me in nursing, right? And leadership pools can take you up and down and things like that, with if you're playing or lovely seasonals come out. So just my invitation to all of you guys is, through helping people transform their lives through this amazing binary system. And again, definitely that fast track to executive, you guys, so you can see all those bonuses up front. But again, that what keeps me up and what fired me up so much was the long term. We are a nation, a society that is in such immediate gratification that is robbing us from greatness, right? Just a mediocre and okay life. Like that is a thief of a great life. And this is what we're doing. We're helping two people. We're showing them how to help two people, right? Again, this is manager. This is your whole compensation plan. This is your entire compensation plan that you do over and over and over again that creates that beautiful binary structure. And so my invitation, eat it, love it, share it. I love Jimmy Smith, him and his family have earned more money in Isagenix than any other family. And it's over, I believe, $50 million now. Quote me if I'm wrong. If you guys know, but I'm pretty sure it's like 53 million or 54. When I found there was a business where I could spend a few $100 to get started, you guys, that's the initial online superfood vending machine, right? Are you doing the basic pack? Are you doing the ultimate pack? Or are you doing the value pack? That's the started. Then he's eating his overhead every month. Right? That's the $150 that we're not spending at the grocery store. We're spending on superfoods to fuel our body. Fail 90% of the time. You guys, fail hard and fail fast. Fail hard and fail fast. Get out there and start, listening, learning, practicing. You're going to learn in the application. You're going to learn in the practice, not just sitting here listening to me go over this stuff. You're going to learn by going to fast track to executive, getting a pen, getting a paper, sitting down with that compensation plan, drawing it out. Like that is how you're going to learn those bonuses, right? But again, all it is manager done over and over again, and become obscenely wealthy. What do you think I said? Yes. Say yes to yourself. Somebody might offer you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it. You guys, I was not sure, but I said yes and I learned how to do it later. Lynn Hagedorn, I saw her and she had just become the fastest growing millionaire in Isagenix in 14 months. Now, again, I like to say 8 years and 14 months because she was a network marketer for 8 years prior. So I say 8 years and 14 months, she became the fastest millionaire in Isagenix. And she said, learn your compensation plan. Last time I talked to Kathy Coover, I got to partner with her at an event, and she said, Casey, you have to show people every single solution that Isagenix offers. Don't make it just one-sided. So often, if we're not showing the entire solution of Isagenix, you guys, it is about us. It is not about them. It is about us and us being uncomfortable with Isagenix or the comp plan. You have no idea if somebody is drowning. They can look like they have this amazing cookie cutter life or a glorious life and this beautiful house and cars, and they might be struggling. You do not know what is going on in somebody's life. So I want you to treat this compensation plan. And maybe, for you, you don't want to be one of those fours. You want to be a casual sharer. That's awesome. Maybe you're going to enroll somebody where this is their lifeline. This is their lifeline for them and for their kids and for their family and for their future. You guys, Isagenix is only 15 years old. It is just getting started. Do you think when I show somebody this compensation plan, when I show somebody, sit down, I was showing this compensation plan far before I had the numbers. I was showing people the videos. I was sitting down. I was learning to draw it out. And I would sit down, far before I had the success behind my name. That is why I have been able to grow. That is why people have been able to grow, is because they're showing people the Isagenix compensation plan. Guys, keep it really simple. Don't go to work and overcomplicate it. When you're right, you share, they share, repeat. You share, they share, repeat. That is it. I am going to you share, they share, repeat 5 times. Thus, I am an executive in Isagenix. Okay, that is an Isagenix executive. You share, they share. I mean, let that just roll out. Speak that. Tell people to work on it. I invite everybody right now, message somebody that's on here, one of your friends in the Run to Executive. You guys get on Zoom and you draw this compensation plan out. If you are not an exec, you draw it out 10 times for each other, minimum of 10 times for each other, because that is where you're going to learn this compensation plan. That is where you're going to know this business structure. That is where you're going to know. You don't have to, go over that. This will be recorded. You guys can watch this for that long-term residual, because there's so many videos and we've all seen the you-share. I really want you to understand the residual so you'll get fired up to go after that bonus money, to go after that upfront money, to stay in it long-term, to cast a long-term vision for people. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't have gotten on a plane and invested to go to Arizona for my first NYKO if I just thought I could earn $320, right? The you share, they share. I wouldn't have. But because I saw a potential of residual income and the whole vehicle, my butt, got on, found a plane ticket, hotel room, we were the stranger. I was willing to do all that because I saw past just that initial upfront money, which is great, which is going to get you and your people paid, which is essential to an organization and a compensation plan. But take it that step further. But you can't take it that step further for other people if you don't have it for yourself. So I want everybody to get it for yourself. So make that part of your commitment. Everybody put it in the chat. I'm committed that you're going to draw this compensation plan out for 10 people. And it's really great too. You can always use for friends and family, once you've practiced on team members. I know that's something that they talk about, the influencers. Practice on your team members, not on your prospects. Practice on your team members, and then go out and ask some, family and friends. That's a great way to get in front and show people the money, show people the compensation plan and the money. And I promise you, your organization will grow. That is when my organization took off, is when I got out of my own way and I stopped being like, oh, it's network marketing. I don't want to be able to or be in this business. It's all that chatter that I had about not showing the compensation. Well, they don't need it. Well, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to think. Let's just do products. You guys, the compensation plan is a product. The wealth vehicle is a product. It is one of the greatest products in Isagenix. It allows us freedom and choice. That is priceless. So I hope that was enough to kind of cast the vision for you guys. Again, ICE FYI, fast track to executive, go through that comp plan, practice with each other, draw it out. And I promise you, you will start seeing massive growth in your organization. And when you show people how to do it and what they have, they're going to be a lot more excited to share probably with 2 people than just getting their products paid for.
Casey, that was awesome, Casey. That was super awesome. One thing I wanted to clarify, when you had your graph and you were showing your income, that when you were going into the $40,000 and $50,000 range, that is not your annual income. That's your monthly income.
That's monthly.
And that's what I want people to understand. And I know you're very humble and very grateful for that, but that is her monthly income. That is not her annual income. So when you see that graph and it's 500 to 1,000, you can see the numbers, and you're welcome to show that graph again if you want. But when you look at that graph and it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, that is her monthly income, y'all. And this is coming, and this is one thing that I really want to really encourage y'all to know. Casey does not, her background was nursing. Okay, no sales experience at all. It truly is that simple of you share, they share, repeat. So yeah, almost 60,000 a month. So that's possible.
It's my highest month, you guys. It was like almost like 59, like just shy of 59. And you think about that, like, what would that do for your life? Like, I remember Jeffrey Combs, he was like, how would your life change if you turned a yearly income into a monthly income? And I was like, that's crazy. Like, why am I going to start dreaming about that? Like, okay, like that's just like out of this world. That's crazy. But you guys, when I really understood this comp plan and the compounding effect, like 4 who find 4. If you find 4 people who are all in to get it, lock arms with them, lock arms with your people, and you're going to hold hands with your product users. You're going to hold hands with them. You're going to, you might squeeze a little bit tighter on your product users, right? Like, for sure. But you are going to lock arms with those who want to build this business. If you have team members that are in this run to executive right now, you find them, you draw out those compensation plans with them, you practice with them, you practice, three-way calls, whatnot. Like, you work with your team members. And here's another thing too, I'll share with you guys, which this kind of statistic, just in the compensation plan. Your people, when people really decide to do this, they don't need a whole lot of assistance. That's the irony of this whole thing, right? Like, when I really decided to do this, of course Jennifer was there for me. Of course we do three-way calls together, right? Of course there's structure, there's masterminding and all those things. Jennifer cannot make my list for me. Jennifer cannot go out and talk to people for me. Jennifer could not get people on a call with her, right? Jennifer could not do those things. She couldn't sit across at come and do every single launch party for me. Jennifer could not do those things, right? But guess who could? Me. I could do all those things. And so, you're going to be in this a lot by yourself. Like, this is, you're in business for yourself. You're never by yourself in a sense where you have this community and you have this team, but a lot of the work is going to be done in the trenches. Head down, on the computer, getting in, finding friends, learning how to network, learning what doesn't work, what worked. I mean, I know I shared on the first call just all the mistakes that I made. I mean, just a horrible networker, horrible. I still make mistakes. You guys, but it doesn't matter. I'm committed for the long term. Do not let that 2-week paycheck enslave you for life. Do not let it do that to you where you show up. So then you get paid for 2 weeks. Goody, I'm getting paid. This network marketing thing takes too long. Like, it might take you 5 to 7 years to, if you really work it, right? Like, if we treat it like, let's not lie to ourselves about like, oh, I shared it with a couple friends or a couple people and it didn't work out. No, right? We're intentional, right? Professional networking and all the steps in Go Pro. But like, you think about it, is 5 to 10 years a long time to accumulate these types of numbers per month of residual income? And I can tell you guys right here, like the year, like with my whole, like healing my back and taking off and stuff and not working, I built such a strong foundation and organization with such incredible leaders and teams and people who were just completely self-sufficient at that point that I could be in bed if I needed to be. And I could, fly wherever I needed to get the best medical treatment. And it didn't matter. This was still coming in. This was residual. 5 to 10 years is not a long time to create something like this. I'll tell you what is a long time is to work 20, 30, 40 years to then hopefully live on some measly little retirement where it's way cut from what you were struggling to live by on anyways. That is a long time. This is a very short time to accumulate wealth. Let's change our mindset about what wealth creation is and what this vehicle is. And let's get to work on, sharing it. And I'm telling you, people are down on their hands and knees right now praying for a solution. And, all the health solutions that we have, this community, it all makes it. And, people are going to find network marketing. This is the age of technology. People are going to be introduced to network marketing with everybody is, right? With where everybody's going to get introduced to network marketing. Why not let them get introduced to a company that is doing it right? Why not let them, why not be that person where Isagenix is their first experience, right? Or if they've been in a bad experience, to show them the light with Isagenix. Let you be that person that introduces them. And your organization, I'm telling you, it will grow, but you have to show people the money. You have to show people that there's something to grow so that you can have those, find those people who really want to build. And it might take you a year to find your first one. It might take you 2 years, to find people who are really all in. But that's okay because you're getting to practice and get better and better and better as it goes. And you're able to make some amazing money when you go from all these bonus structures that Isagenix has. So, and all those videos that we talked about show those structures.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Casey, for your time tonight. I know we have a lot of other leaders on the call. Does anybody want to add anything to what Casey had shared? If not, we will close this call out. Thank you again, Casey. So much gratitude for you and our team, for your leadership, for your passion, for your knowledge, for everything, just for simply being who you are. Thank you so much. The call will be posted in the group event tonight, and also a YouTube link will be available if you want to share this for people that are outside Run to Executive. I will unmute, and everybody can tell Katie good night. I mean, Casey.
Good night,
Oh,
Casey.
Casey.
Good night.
Casey, thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.